Hello,
Kitty,
Kitty.
mate. Kitty in the studio.
Welcome. Welcome to the European Tech Show. How are you doing?
Very well indeed. How are you all doing?
Very good,
Very
thank
good.
you. Congratulations on getting the first 6 out. Like, we love to see it. You've obviously been working on this for like some time. Like, how does it feel to get the first 6 out?
Well, I mean, it's tremendously exciting, and actually for us, like the thing that we're most excited about is for the teams to be able to actually start, I don't know, communicating with the people they deserve to. And like these teams, they're not necessarily going out to raise immediately. Most of them aren't. Like most of them are continuing to build. Like this is almost like us announcing the start of their journey, and we're kind of excited for them to, I don't know, start building their profiles, building their brands, and becoming kind of the titans of the European early stage building scene.
Yeah, super exciting. And looking at these 6 companies, what kind of stage are they at? Have any of them built products that they're already selling? Are they still in that very, very early stage of trying to pull something together? And is there a range across the 6?
Yeah, I mean, totally. It's an eclectic bunch in some ways, because you've got Alex, for example, who's building humanoid robots. He's been building the actual, the hardware, software, the data sets for the last 10 months in a workspace he's managed to borrow from a founder in Athens. And so he's got like a full functioning product. But it's not an easy product to immediately deploy in the real world. And so he's still got a lot of work to do. Then we've got the Zelify team, who have a product that's up and running. They have paying customers already. Agnesa, who's building brain-computer interfaces to control robots, she's got proof of concept, and she is working on early customers. But she's been building at the company for 2 months now. Most of them are a couple of months into the company building process. Like many of them have been fascinated by the tech and have been building similar products from like a very young age. Like Agnesa built her first robot when she was 14.
Wow.
Alex built his first robot when he was 15. Like they make honestly, it makes you feel like a massive underachiever.
Yeah.
Like all of them started doing something kind of mega when they were 14. Like Zelify guys, they had a I swear. It's a video game, Counter-Strike. They had a Counter-Strike cheat that they exploited. They were making hundreds.
Always starts at Counter-Strike.
If they're on CS at that age and they're cheating all like the modding stuff.
They were making money when I think they made 150 euros in a year when they were 14.
That's crazy.
And they reinvested that money in the business, which is, to their credit.
Awesome.
You must have met some absolutely outstanding people over the last few months. Like, how many of these, I guess, like how many people have you met, and how did you kind of choose these 6?
I would say we've had 1,000 applications.
Wow.
Basically every country in Europe. The countries we didn't get, I think we haven't had anyone from Andorra yet. Vatican City, certainly not. We've had countries like, I don't know, Moldova, like countries that you wouldn't necessarily go to source from, but you have like really, really interesting people applying from there. I've probably done, I'd say maybe getting on for 500 interviews. First round interviews. So, I mean, Harry thinks I'm a complete psycho because I will stack my day with 15-minute slots just so I can interview as many as possible. Because for me, like the early stage interviewing is as much discovery about like what's happening in different ecosystems as it is about making sure I'm meeting as many people as possible. Because I don't really know what good looks like in each place because I don't have a great mental model for who the best engineer in Moldova is. So I kind of want to meet the person who applies for Moldova. And so, I mean, loads of people working on very, very like wide-ranging things. The thing that's been really interesting has been we've had lots of applications from things which are like in the immediate term, like far more successful businesses, like making a lot of money, very, very fast growing, but like kind of ChatGPT wrappers doing like one thing that's gone very viral in a specific niche. And like this generation, like really understand how to go viral within a particular customer segment. But then the hard thing is like understanding whether those founders are actually going to have what it takes to build a product or like, the next product, the thing that actually takes them to an enormous scale, or whether they're going to just build like a really profitable small company. And so that's been really interesting. The thing that's been like the thing that defines like these teams versus like many of the companies and the founders who seemed awesome, but didn't make it. Where with these teams, like there's a world in which each one of them changes the world in a pretty meaningful and enormous way, and that feels like a very important filter function for us.
And they
That's
also
so cool.
they also seem super technical. You know, it's not maybe I was looking through them all, but there's a lot of hardware, a lot of people building very
A
difficult.
lot of
things.
consumer hardware,
Yeah.
which is like the hardest thing, like impossible level. You
Yeah,
know?
was
you
that-
can't get harder than that.
Was that intentional? Were you looking for people building really hard things or deep tech, or did it just happen that those were the best founders you met?
That it wasn't intentional. Like, our thesis is to find. I mean, yes, like technical founders is part of our thesis, but to find like hugely ambitious people at a very early stage in their career. And the thing that struck us, and maybe this is, I mean, I'll tell you the story about Alex, because what Alex had decided, like when he was like 15, maybe younger, when GPT-2 came out, he like read about it and he was like, I'm not going to be. I'm too late to be able to do like frontier research and change the world in sort of like the software applications of AI. But he was like, there is time for me to build something like truly meaningful in hardware. And so that's kind of, for him, it was a timing thing. And I think if Alex was applying to Project Europe like 5 years ago, like he would probably be working on cutting edge AI. I mean, he's still working on cutting edge AI, but like embodied AI. I think also, like for us, we have been really excited by the builders we've met who have been like building from a very early age, who had that, you can just do things moment really, really early on. And for many of them, they got very excited about building stuff that could interact with the real world pretty early. And so it's not necessarily been a thesis, but I think actually it's kind of a function of like really, really like early ambition to want to build like tangible, like, real things, and actually also have this this kind of like unjaded view of the world where you're like, yeah, I will do the hardest thing. I know it's going to be pretty much impossible, but I like have the energy to do it. Like now is the time where I want to either like build something that changes the world or like fail in such a way that would be movie worthy. And so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess like nobody at 18 dreams of building like a B2B SaaS, right? Like,
No, actually, to be fair, Nils and Marcus building Zelify.
Yeah.
I mean, they're stone cold hustlers. They're insane. I love
They
them.
have to win. They have to win. I wanted to ask something else as well. Going back to when you guys launched, this launch was everywhere. You could not escape Project Europe, no matter where you were looking. Right, there were articles everywhere. It was brilliant. I think it was something like 14,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is a hard place to get followers within a day and a half, 2 days. And we saw stats on how many applications you guys got. I think it was something around. Harry was just sort of live tweeting all this stuff out. It was like 1,000 the next day, and then like 1,500, then 2,000. Like, it was just insane. What was it like experiencing that and being at the epicenter of that? It must have been crazy, right?
I mean, it was experiencing the Harry Stebbings effect.
That's a good term to be coined, by the way.
I got a message just as I was joining this call from Harry saying, you need to turn followers on LinkedIn. Like, this is not like the building followers and the social media clout is not the game I've been playing before, but actually it's a fascinating one to learn from Harry. In terms of the launch, it was the week before I officially started. I was on like gardening leave between two jobs, and I was actually I was mountaineering in Georgia, down by the Russian border. And I was at the top of a mountain
during the launch. It's like the worst place to be.
I had crumbs of 3G, and my phone was exploding. I got something like 2,500 LinkedIn connection requests, which is, I probably should have had followers turned on, in the span of about an hour.
What?
And wow. I mean, yeah, I was like, oh shit, this is really happening. This is definitely real. This isn't just a project. It was like a phenomenally well coordinated launch. Like Harry architected it like superbly, but also the timing was like spot on. I got a message from a friend earlier saying like Project Europe has really captured the zeitgeist. And yes, I think we're doing a brilliant job, but also like this is something that people so desperately want. And the reason that it matters so much to us to be able to tell the stories beautifully in film, and we've got this amazing team who are working on the film with us, is like we're not just telling the story so that like founders want to join the future cohorts, but it's actually because many of the Project Europe backers or people in the broader ecosystem want to be told stories to inspire them. They want to see these really, really brave, ambitious kids doing awesome things. And I think that there's this flywheel that we can tap into where it might not be, I don't know, it might be a professor or a parent who sees something inspiring that the Project Europe team's doing, and they might then encourage their kid, their student, the person in their team to actually go all in on the thing, and you can gradually change mindset and culture that way. So we're not just thinking about this as marketing materials; we're actually kind of thinking this far more as a real movement to change mindset.
Yeah, and we speak to founders and investors. Every week we say the same thing, which is to do with the risk aversion in Europe compared to the US, and it like you say, it trickles down from VCs and investors who are generally more risk averse. They want to see experienced founders with real traction, all the way to parents who are pushing their children into university and grad schemes. I thought it was really interesting that I think you mentioned that 5 out of 6 either dropped out of university or never went to university in the first place.
It was 9 out of 11.
Oh, 9 out of 11 was that it? Yeah. Which is just
And then we did have a last minute edition of the Zero team who all got the best aerospace degrees from the best university in Portugal. So luckily that was published before it was diluted by an extra 3 very highly qualified.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Obviously, the universities they went to, the degrees that they did are absolutely cracked. If you're going to study anything, you may as well study
astrophysics. Yeah. That's insane. We need to do a day where we just sort of we grill these people 10 minutes long because their backgrounds.
Actually, the Portuguese team, they I don't know if any of you have listened to it. I don't know if you speak Portuguese, but they had the best, I think the best, the most listened to science podcast in Portugal or in the Portuguese speaking world.
Wow, amazing!
Putting a company together.
I love these.
About aerospace, but they're awesome guys.
And I presume that's what you're looking for. You're just looking for those little nuggets that you're just oh, that's such a weird thing to have. Stuff. Especially at such a young age as well.
Yeah.
It's like Marcus at PKI. He was top 100 League of Legends player. Yeah. And it's that's just a cool thing. Yeah, that's just a cool outline.
Yeah, we've got Liam Fuller on next, who I don't know if you saw this story, that 17-year-old who just raised $1 million.
This guy's so crazy and I love him so much.
I was in Ireland last week with Jade, and everyone was talking about Liam Fuller.
No way.
We patch that morning, and then we were with some people from the Dog Patch team, and they're we need to get back because RTE are coming in to interview Liam. Liam is the name in Ireland at the moment.
Oh, awesome. Well, hopefully he can get us to blow up on LinkedIn.
Irish X.
It's our Project Europe, man. Irish X.
Yeah, he's become a national icon in a week.
Dude, I'm not surprised. Cool. This guy, I remember seeing him go viral 1.5 years, 2 years ago when he was in his bathroom stall.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
He's in a school nonchalant guy as well.
But I think that's to Kitty's point around you can change the culture because people get so excited about it. You hear these stories.
It's almost easier to change the culture in small ecosystems, and this is kind of what we're seeing in Stockholm at the moment in such an enormous way. The population of Sweden is, we'll have to get number crunch on this, about 6 million, I think. And so when you have a standout success story like Anton, Anton came out of Sana, so Joel first, then Anton, then Lovable exploding, and it's if you spend any time in Stockholm, the ambition profile of the city has changed. There's this amazing community called Founder House, and they've basically just got a floor in an office block in kind of the hub where you've got the Voi offices, I think the Klarna office is pretty nearby, and they're just pumping out these ridiculously high ambition builders, engineers, founders. But in London, you can have these outstanding success stories, but actually the city's so big and the finance industry is the real titan. You kind of lose these crazy success stories, and so I think there's a huge opportunity for these small, densely populated little kind of ecosystems like Dublin, Stockholm to have they'll have a far quicker behaviour cultural transformation, I guess.
And I think what you're doing so well is making sure that you're capturing it on video. And actually in a cool way. Yeah. How do you see that evolving? Do you see
I don't know, you're creating like mini episodes here, there, and everywhere, in all these different cities in Europe. Is that how do you see it in the next 5 years with Project Europe?
Yeah, good point. So we'll have, like, every 2 months, we'll bring all the sort of current teams together in one place. So the next one we're going to Stockholm, and the one after that we're going to Helsinki just before Slush. And for us, it's really important to go somewhere where we have like a critical mass of Project Europe partners as well. Like, it was quite tempting for us to think, oh, let's just go and like rent some like beautiful hotel in Italy and spend some nice time there in the Tuscan Hills. But actually, we kind of want to go to places where we can really like bring the Project Europe network together in real life. And during those like 3-day sprints, we'll just collect as much content as we can about the teams, about the things they're doing, about the wider community, etc. So that we can kind of like continue to share that over the intervening months, because we're not spending, we're distributed across the whole of Europe. We're not spending loads and loads of time in person, and I don't think like recorded Zoom calls are particularly moving or inspiring.
It's not great content. Yeah.
But yeah, no, so we've got this amazing group of filmmakers who are just like so up for it and really understand the work the founders are doing. They're like deeply interested in it too. They're not just trying to think about how they can make the content pretty. They're thinking about how they can really tell the stories. Like with the founder introduction video, the editor went in and picked out the things he thought were most inspiring about the companies. Like, that wasn't like us having to say like, these are the messages we want to land. And so having editors and filmmakers who actually think that the work these founders are doing is like the coolest fucking thing really matters.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's so cool.
I think like the VC world is kind of swamped with like very, very beautiful things. Like really beautiful pieces of content, lovely offices, really nice merch. But actually, like, what people really want is stories.
Yeah, and I think that's that. I feel like editors and VCs might have that disconnect, but if you have them in-house learning, or even just knowing exactly why they have been chosen to be part of Project Europe is like the biggest competitive advantage, I think, about finding the right people.
Yeah, and so, you've done these 6. You said you're going to Stockholm later this year. Are you opening up the applications all over again? Are you kind of doing another push to get the next cohort, the next generation in?
So our applications are actually rolling, and so every co-work will have like new teams to join the mix. And for the first co-work, it felt really important that we could like begin to set the community vibe. And it was hilarious. I mean, Jade and I organised it. I think we had a 3-week lead time to organise it, because we're like, fuck it, we should bring them together. We did a kick-off night we spent the evening at David Helgeson's office, so founder of Unity, now partner at Transition Ventures. And we're in Soho. We should do something in Soho with the teams. And so I don't know if you've ever been to Freedom Bar. On Wednesday night, they had this incredible drag show. And so we took all the founders to a drag show, which was like the perfect icebreaker. And I mean, they were getting rinsed for, like, one guy was sitting with his back to the stage doing maths in and genuinely yesterday morning, I was on a call with someone who I'd love to partner with for our next co-work. And I sent him the video before I shared it, just so I was like, this is the kind of thing we're doing. And he was like, oh, like, my wife was really curious about why you chose to take the cohort to a strip club. And I was like, oh no, like it's actually far more wholesome than that. It was a drag bar. It was a very wholesome vibe. So we had to very quickly go in and edit out any footage that had any trace of a pole. That's to say, sorry, you asked me if applications are rolling. I told you a story about a drag club. But we're always on, always interviewing, always bringing new teams in. So we want to fit to the things that teams need at the right time, rather than fitting them onto our timeline. And then we'll support them to fundraise as and when they want to fundraise. Each co-work will make a new launch video introducing the new teams that have joined in those 2 months. And so it's kind of like a ever evolving selection community, rather than just having like sprints, which makes my job so much more fun as well.
Yeah, I bet. I want to see the outtakes. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we need to see like a Project Europe blooper reel.
We'll do a paywalled outtake.
of these cracked young entrepreneurs and the drag show.
ETS will be paying for that.
Yeah.
we will pay for that.
I can't tell you how much of a successful icebreaker it was. Everyone went in, and there was this moment where I was thinking, oh my gosh, what have I done? This is the worst decision ever. And then, the show started. Just actually having something to engage with. I kind of, Jade and I were discussing it. Well, even if it goes really badly, it becomes an iconic moment.
Yeah.
People in 5 years' time, people might be saying do you remember when Kitty and Jade in their delusion thought that going to a drag club would be a good way to kick this off. And so we kind of decided it would be iconic either way, even if it was good, even if it was bad even. But yeah, I'll send you some outtakes.
Love it. Right, look, I'm conscious we're out of time, Kitty, but thank you so much for coming on. Any news, any announcements? Do you ever want to come back? You're more than welcome. We would love to be able to cover as much of Project Europe as we can and give the founders and the entrepreneurs the visibility and the platform to help them get to wherever they're going.
You guys are smashing it.
So
thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thanks, Kitty.